Welcome back to my channel, and for those who have not been here before, welcome. I'm Dr. Jenny from the block, so please like and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram at Dr. Jenny from the block, where I post some mental health stuff, pose questions. I'll be working on doing live videos with other practitioners of mental health and other people who center mental health in their different disciplines, so tune into that. But yeah, let's jump into today's topic. So I wanted to make a video about therapy, and this video is twofold in the sense that I want to talk a little bit about my own personal journey to therapy, what led me to go. So yes, I am a clinician that goes to therapy. Ta-da! And I say that because as I was searching, and I keep calling it the YouTube. So I was searching the YouTube and the Google, trying to see narratives of clinicians that go to therapy. There's not a lot of clinicians that talk about going to therapy, and I think that's important. And then secondly, people may be thinking about therapy, be unsure about if it's right for them, and I want to talk a little bit about that as well, and hopefully something resonates, sticks, or helps you kind of navigate whether or not therapy is good for you. So therapy isn't needed for everybody, and I think it's really your own personal choice whether or not you're ready for the process. So I think the first thing to know is, are you ready for therapy? Are you at a point in your journey, in your life, where you feel like you'd want some additional support to work through some things that are coming up for you? And I think that's a big piece, to really think am I ready to make changes in my life? Am I ready to recognize the things that are getting in my way? So I think of people going to therapy as, you're living your life and then you experience a problem in living. That's how I kind of characterize the presenting issue, as just a problem in living. Something is getting in your way of living your best life, and it's causing you some issues. So that those issues could be coming out in your relationships with other people. It could be coming out in terms of your mood, in terms of your behaviors. And I want to normalize and validate, and I've said this before in previous videos, that mental health issues arise for everybody. None of us are exempt, not even myself, obviously, if I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about my own journey. So, problems in living can be anything from transitions. Maybe you're getting a new job, or you're moving, or you're getting ready to be a parent, or someone in your life is, getting ready to pass away, something like that. Sometimes we're anxious about the future. We don't know what's going to happen. I think during this current climate and being quarantined, we don't really know what's going to happen day to day. I think sometimes people even come to therapy just to have someone who doesn't know them offer feedback and support about different issues or concerns or decisions that they want to make with their lives. The gamut is large in terms of what brings people into therapy. And so I say that in hopes that it doesn't have to be a shameful experience, that people don't feel weird coming. And I do think it's a nice space to sit and talk with someone and learn more about ourselves. And so that's really at the heart of it. When you're coming to therapy, at least for me, and I want to put a disclaimer out there, how I view therapy may be totally different from how someone you're currently seeing views therapy, or how another clinician does this work. So I want to own that. I think so. For me, I do feel therapy is a great place to learn more about yourself, to really deepen your own understanding of the things that get in your way from living your best life, the things that are bringing you pain, understanding the things that can bring you joy, can bring you liberation from the things that are weighing you down. And so I do see therapy working in that way. A big thing, and I see videos and people talking about therapy didn't work for me, etc. And there could be a number of reasons why therapy doesn't work. I think for the clients I work with, therapy often may not work because of fit. And that's one thing, I don't know if clinicians talk about a lot with their clients, is fit matters. If you're coming to work with me and you're not feeling my vibe, how I operate, how I speak to you, how we engage with each other, then we aren't compatible, and that's okay, because not everybody has to be your cup of tea. So I think, connecting this to myself, and I'm thinking, what led me to therapy? I think for me, therapy was a long time coming. I just think that I dragged my feet getting there. So the first time I thought that I probably needed to go to therapy was when I was 21 and I had just had my daughter, and following her birth, I definitely was experiencing some postpartum depressive symptoms. A lot of self-doubt was creeping on me, a lot of negative self-evaluations, being very critical towards myself, going through low moods of just feeling really helpless and hopeless about what I was going to do. And it was so interesting because I was still in college. So like I had my daughter, and 3 days later I was back in class. So I was still doing the right things for myself, but I think I started thinking like, oh my God, I'm responsible for another person, and what am I going to do? And at that time, I remember walking to the door of the counseling center on my campus, touching the doorknob, literally touched it, looked, took a deep breath, and turned around and walked away. Literally, just went the whole opposite way. And I think that was like a missed opportunity for me at that time, because I really do think I needed the support, and I wasn't coping well. And eventually things leveled out. But I often wonder like how things would have went for me if I would have just taken that chance and gotten the support that I needed. And obviously, like, yeah, I bounced back, but it was a hard bounce back. So, then I go to grad school, and where my grad school was in a very rural environment. So there was not a lot of clinicians, and I knew for me that I didn't want to work with someone in that area because all the clinicians knew each other. So I wanted a clinician that looked like me. And I want to say for folks, it's not a bad thing to want to work with somebody who looks like you, and or shares other identities that are similar to you. I meet with students all the time who are like, do you guys have LGBTQ therapists? Do you have male therapists? Do you have people who experience working with this population? It's okay to ask for what you want and know what you want, because at the end of the day, you're either paying for this, you're working with the person, you're sharing your information. So, choose the space that feels good for you. So I did not go to therapy during grad school, another opportunity in which I missed. So now at this point in my life, I think about 7 months ago, I was sitting and I was journaling. I joke and tell people I'm an aggressive journaler, which means I just hop in that journal and go for it, just spilling all my tea. And I was thinking like, there are some things that keep coming up in this journal. There's some themes here, and I'm feeling like there are some things that are really getting in my way of reaching the next level in my own growth as a person, as a parent, as a professional. And so I went on Psychology Today and therapy for Black girls, and I was typing away like, where is a clinician for me? And I found one. And we've been working together. She looks like me, natural hair. She's just got all the earthy vibes that I really like. Honestly, it's been such a transformation. Like, I'm already a self-reflective person, but to have another person catch the things that I don't has just been such a powerful experience for me personally. There are times when I cry in there, when I'm angry, and she holds that space for me. There's no judgment. And let's say, even if how I'm thinking isn't necessarily helpful to me, there's a gentle way in which she brings that to my awareness, and she supports me, and we talk through it and walk through it together. And I think that is the power of therapy. You all are the experts in your life. You bring your experiences, your knowledge into the room. Us on the other end, we bring our own experiences, our knowledge of the work, our knowledge of how humans behave and change and grow and evolve. And we come in and we do it together like it's like a teamwork. It's like MJ and Pippin in there, okay? It's like The Last Dance in there. It's wonderful. You go through all the roller coaster rides of emotions and growth, and then you get to a place where you feel like you can handle it on your own. Like I said, I'm biased. I know. I'm a therapist, but I do think that it's worth it. At the end of the day, it's a worthwhile process. And I'm still growing. I have a therapy appointment next week. Not this week, but yeah, next week. I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about the things that are up, pulling me up, and the things that are holding me down still. And, I encourage you all to think about it. Therapy is a process, but it's your process. You are in control of the process. And it can be really scary taking that first step, but try it. And if you don't like it, you don't got to stick with it. You can find other ways to take care of yourself. Therapy is not the only way to heal. It is not the only way to grow. It's just think about it like another tool in your toolbox. Something that you can use at a certain time in a certain context to help you fix a certain problem, and then you dip into the next thing to help you address the other problem. So I'm going to stop there because I feel like I'm rambling, but please let me know what you think in the comments. Feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I'm working on the Instagram. We're going to get some lives going very soon with some very valued colleagues, and I'm going to drop some more content on here. Stay tuned because there's some really exciting things happening in June. But please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and you all just be great and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.